The Catfish Killer. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The United Kingdom's most prolific catfish ran a paedophile enterprise targeting 3,500 children in 30 countries, a court has heard. Alexander McCartney was jailed for life and ordered to serve a minimum of 20 years after posing as a teenage girl to befriend young girls on Snapchat before blackmailing them. Police said the 26-year-old stole childhoods and shocked communities around the world with his depravity. He carried out the abuse on social media on an industrial scale and traumatized one girl so much that she took her own life. Cimarron Thomas, 12, from West Virginia in the United States, took her life in May 2018 after McCartney demanded that she involved her younger sister in sex acts and send him pictures. Her father, Ben, killed himself 18 months later. He died, never knowing what had caused his daughter to end her life. In total, McCartney admitted 185 charges against at least 70 children. He also pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of Cimarron. As I understand it, this is the first instance of its type where somebody has admitted to killing somebody that they actually never even met. Prosecutors said they believed it was the first time any abuser in the world had been held accountable for manslaughter, despite not meeting the victim. Sentencing McCartney at Belfast Crown Court on Friday, Mr. Justice O'Hara said he had used social media on an industrial scale to inflict terrible and catastrophic damage on young girls, up to and including the death of a 12-year-old. He added, the defendant was remorseless. He ignored multiple opportunities to stop. He ignored multiple pleas for mercy. He lied and then lied again. It is truly difficult to think of a sexual deviant who poses a greater risk than this defendant. Catherine Kieran's, the acting head of the Northern Ireland Public Prosecution Service's Serious Crime Unit, said it was one of the most distressing and prolific cases of child sexual abuse. Victims were identified all over the world, including in Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. McCartney, a former computer science student from Newry, Northern Ireland, carried out his offences from the bedroom of his childhood home. One senior investigator described McCartney's offending as a paedophile enterprise and said he may have targeted 3,500 children around the world. McCartney also admitted 59 counts of blackmail, dozens of charges relating to making and distributing indecent photographs, and scores of charges of inciting children to engage in sexual activity. In actual fact, he pleaded guilty to the following, taking place between January 2021 and March 2024. 1 count of manslaughter, 14 counts of causing or inciting a girl under 13 to engage in sexual activity involving penetration, 32 counts of causing or inciting a girl between the age of 13 and 16 to engage in sexual activity, including penetration, 9 counts of causing a girl under 13 years of age to engage in sexual activity, 14 counts of causing a girl aged between 13 and 16 to engage in sexual activity, 58 counts of blackmail, 29 counts of making indecent images of children, 11 counts of distributing indecent images of children, 2 counts of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent, 12 counts of possessing indecent images of children, 1 count of intimidation, 1 count of possessing prohibited images of children, 1 count of sexual communication with a child. The court heard that McCartney first contacted Cimarron 4 days before her death and blackmailed her into sending images. After that first night, she believed the ordeal was over, but he contacted her again on May the 10th. The police service of Northern Ireland recovered the distressing online conversation between the two. In it, the girl repeatedly asked McCartney to leave her alone while he coerced her into sending further pictures. At one point she told him, "I don't like this." When she said she would call the police, he responded, "IDC," meaning "I don't care." The court heard that a police service Northern Ireland officer who reviewed the material said Cimarron was utterly distraught and sobbing at the time. McCartney then demanded she send pictures of her 9-year-old sister. She replied, "Please, not her." When Cimarron continued to refuse McCartney's demands, he began a countdown of 30 seconds before he threatened to post pictures of her online. He told her, "I am posting. Bye. Ben Thomas first, her father. He should see the pics first." Cimarron responded, "No, I will obey." The conversation then stopped. 3 minutes later, Cimarron's younger sister found her body on the floor of her parents' bedroom. McCartney first became known to police in Northern Ireland in 2016, when he was arrested in relation to indecent images of children found on his electronic devices. At this stage, no victims had been identified and he was bailed. He was arrested again on similar offences in 2018. Despite the attention of police and bail conditions, McCartney continued to offend. He even replaced phones and laptops which had been seized. In March 2019, Police Scotland contacted Police Service Northern Ireland in relation to a report of a 13-year-old girl who was being groomed by an adult suspect believed to be residing in Northern Ireland. When police raided his home, he was in the middle of offending and Snapchat was open on one of his phones. Devices seized from his bedroom were found to contain hundreds of thousands of indecent photographs and videos of underage girls. He targeted young girls who were vulnerable or professing doubts about their sexual identity and body image. He would use this vulnerability to persuade them to send a photo. Once he had the image, McCartney would go to the notes section of his phone, where he had a pre-prepared statement which he would cut and paste into the conversation. The message would say, "All right, I used a fake camera snap app. I have your face pic and nudes. You are going to do as I say for tonight, and then I'll leave after. But if you don't, then I'm uploading everything online for everyone to see. Understand?" Although McCartney promised to leave the victims alone after one night, he often returned later to continue the abuse. He would blackmail them into sending more images or engaging in sexual activity online, threatening to share the images with other paedophiles. He forced some children into abusing younger siblings or forced them to involve family pets and objects. Detective Chief Superintendent Eamon Corrigan said McCartney began offending as a late teenager from his childhood bedroom. He had a number of devices and was operating across different time zones. McCartney is nothing but a disgusting child predator who was posing as young girls online to groom, manipulate and sexually abuse his victims as young as 4 to satisfy his own sexual perversions and that of other online child sexual offenders. Derek Gordon, special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations based in Washington, D.C., said McCartney committed some horrific and disturbing crimes and deserves every minute he serves in prison. His wretched conduct tragically led to a child in West Virginia taking her own life. We are thankful that our law enforcement partners in Northern Ireland saw fit to apprehend and charge McCartney for his role in the girl's death. Their investigation and prosecution of this court case were nothing short of brilliant. This individual was a prolific catfisher. But what drove him to behave this way? Why was it so easy for him to access his victims? Why did they comply with what he wanted to do? Why did he keep on behaving this way? Why did he continue to do this even when he was under suspicion? I shall be undertaking a comprehensive analysis of this offender, who is now in prison, to explain to you what motivates such an individual to behave in the manner that he has, and also what has allowed his reach to be so extensive and have such an impact upon so many people in so many places. Unsavoury topic, doubtless, but nevertheless important to understand the mindset of the individual behind it so that you are able to understand why people behave this way and you can put in place the suitable protections. Look out for this series starting soon. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.